everyone, Witch Boy Columbus here. I am doing YouTube Pagan Challenge Week 10. I'm going to dive right into this because I was going to make this video last Sunday. It is now Friday, and I'm almost to week 11. So I need to make my week 11, so I better get my week 10 done. So as normal, I'm just going to dive right in. We are week 10. I'm going to put the question in the description box below so that you guys might be able to answer it if you would like. Let's see. I have to find it. There it is. Okay, so the question this week is, what do the moon phases mean to you? Now, I kind of get wordy and I talk aloud, and like I normally do, and so I might ramble a little bit, but I'll try and stay on target. The moon phases mean to me, I like the teachings from a lot of the books of, like, you know, especially like Wiccan books and stuff like that. I've read some from other paths, I should say, but I like them all. I like them. I think they're beautiful. I like the way, but I start to analyze, like I did with my video on deity, is I start to analyze what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, and so let me talk a little bit about that. I not only do I like, I should say, or a lot of it's the mindset. Like I am mindful of the phases, okay? But feeling of the energy is a little bit more because I lean towards super moons and like when the moon is really, really close. So that's when I even get I can feel the energy. Sometimes it's even overloading to the point where I have a headache the entire day and I can't, you know, I mean, it's got to kind of go away a little bit. But the reason that is too is like I said, I like all the rituals that I've learned and other people have wrote about, or even talked about on YouTube or what have you. I really like to use some of that stuff, but when I start to think about it, like I said, I think about it like I kind of overanalyze deity, my thoughts on deity, and it's that the purest to me, the purest form of energy that I'm going to get from the moon would be on a new moon, which is kind of hard to work with because you kind of most of the time just know it's happening. You don't actually visually see it. And a new supermoon would be the purest form of that energy, right? And let me tell you why. Because not that I don't, I absolutely love a super full moon. But in terms of energies, if we look, I guess, scientifically, a full moon is a combination of not only the moon's energy, but of our sun, because it's reflecting the light of the sun, right? So I think it's closest when it's a full super moon to being the most or the highest energy of the combined two, right? The only exception I think was when we have those, or like in the evenings or in the mornings when you have both. You can see both in the sky, like brightly. You can see the moon and you can see the sun because it's not only, and it's going to be a little bit leaning more towards the sun, but we're getting that energy. Plus, we're having, enhanced by being reflected with the moon's energy. So I start to think about that, and I'm like, so if I was to use the just moon energy, I think I would lean towards the new moon and the super new moon. So then I have to kind of rely on other sources because I can't, like I go by a calendar, of course, but I don't always know when that's happening because it's hard to see. You can't really see it. So, but I do use the full moon, and I do use, I use almost every one. And I like all the phases in between. I just think that I do like the way of thinking that like to charge stuff. Um, the heightened of magical workings is on the full moon and stuff. I do kind of agree with that, and that's probably because we're being able to get both energies of our moon and our sun, right? Um, but I think for new beginnings and stuff like that, it's a great way of thinking about it with using the new moon, because it's just that energy we're feeling is just of that of the moon. I mean, I'm sure the energy of the sun is still there, somewhere, but it's kind of blocked by our planet. So wherever you are, you're not receiving the energy from the light, but maybe just the gravitational. You know what I mean? And if I start to talk about it too long, then I get really wordy because I start overanalyzing it and stuff like that. But if you kind of see where I'm going with this, that's how I think of it in my head. And it's just also the phases of the moon are like, to me, almost like the phases of life. So it kind of goes on and on, especially in nature. You know what I mean? It's a kind of big, it's a big wheel, and so is the phases of the moon. It's a big wheel. So, but personally, that's how I think about it when I work with their energies. Is what energy am I bringing to the table? Do I want just one pure energy from one, or do I want the combination of the both, of the two, I should say, or you know what I mean, just like that. So not only do I find the teachings, I think I kind of like to mix what we know now scientifically with what our ancestors would have done, because it makes more sense to me, you know what I mean? And to evolve, I want to learn, but I want to kind of retain the purest parts and leave out all the corruption bad. You know what I mean? I think that's hopefully what most of us are striving for. So yeah, that's what the moon phases mean to me. I know that wasn't a clear, concise answer, but that's how I think about it, and that's how I use them. And for me, I also like to be aware that it's happening. You know what I mean? Don't become a drone in the mundane, and remember that these things are happening around us, and it's like a miracle every day, that we're here, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and not to take it for granted. And so to me, it's a reminder of that too, when I can look up and see stuff that's occurring, in our universe. So I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to work on the next video also, which kind of goes with this one. So stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, make sure that you put them in the down bar below, or message me via one of the social media links on my channel. On my main channel page is my Facebook page and my Twitter and stuff like that. And I always try and get back to people. Sometimes it's not always the fastest thing, but I do try and answer everyone. Sometimes, what I've noticed too is sometimes in my head, I'm really bad about this, is that if someone states something that doesn't, in my head, need a reply, I might just like your comment. And to me, that's an answer. I do it all the time on Facebook. I'm horrible about it. So, I will like something that someone says to me, not thinking, oh, they want a reply, or they want me to answer them. But if it's just a statement, sometimes I'm like, I don't have anything to say back. I just agree. So, I always trying to do something to let you know that I've seen it. So, until next time, I will talk to you soon. Blessed be.